All right, hey everyone. Thanks for joining back. I was sat down to plan in this sucker today and figured I would take you along for the ride. This is my goals planner. Yes, that's right. I have something dedicated to goals specifically. A bit of a type A personality, so I work best as long as I have goals I'm trying to achieve. And I'm sure that if you're in the community, you likely are the same. I still have my Santa Claus. I haven't gotten my nails redone yet. So this is an A5 leather agenda from Cloth and Paper. She had the ability to buy them. I don't know how often she offers that, but I had an alert set for when this black on black was available, and I jumped on it. I'm in love with it. It's really beautiful. I had a Filofax, just plain one. I tend to buy planners and then see if I use it, and if I use it for the year, then I invest in some like higher quality pieces. And so that's kind of how this happened. So just want to give an overview. I talked about how I use it a little bit in my planner lineup for the year, but now I'll go a little bit more in depth now that we're getting into 2022. I didn't have a word of the year for a while, and now that I have it, it kind of helps me set those intentions and figure out what the goals are going to be. So I've gone over some of this a bit, but I'll just, in case you didn't see that video, maybe you'll learn about it here. So I have a few planner cards here from Cloth and Paper. This one from Planner Press. I post a lot of her stuff a lot. Planner Press and Cloth and Paper are basically the two where I get the most of my inserts from. Second to sort stuff out. So we have the dashboard here. The harder I work, the luckier I get, which I don't know. There's hardly anything about luck. I forget who said it, but luck is where preparation and opportunity meet. And so I feel like I know I'm always trying to prepare myself to be prepared so that when I do have opportunities, they do kind of combine and go hand in hand. This is from Planner Press. I really like the way this looks. The way everything layers is just really beautiful. And then this is from Ellie. It sorts stuff out. And now the insert. So this came in a subscription box from Cloth and Paper. It was, I don't recall what it was called. And I tried to get more inserts, but I don't know if they're individually for sale. So what I did, it was kind of a brain dump for what the goals are for the year, and I wrote them out. So starting with this, the year preparation, it's what's word of the year, looking forward to, my focus, things to improve, this year I will, and then goals. So it's a good overview. I like setting this up for the year and then looking back. This is just some scratch for some notes. I haven't really used it, but the word of the year was recalibrate, and my husband actually helped me come up with that term. Our anniversary is New Year's Eve, and so we get to celebrate that twofold. And after New Year's, around like the 1st and 2nd of January, I was getting really, really anxious going into the new year, and I couldn't really wrap my head around why, and realized that having another year like 2020 and 2021 was making me so anxious. Like I just said, I can't go into another year knowing, like feeling like it was just going to be a repeat. So he said, well, you know, what you really need is like a recalibration, not a reset, because reset was my word a couple years ago. He's like, you just need to redefine everything. You don't need to reset to where it was. You need a new normal and reset entirely, more like a recalibrate. And I said, that's brilliant. That's why I married you. And so here we have it. So that's going to be the word, just redefining what everything means to me, and looking forward to. We also talked about how we're going to spend time, what I needed. Part of what was so hard is that in March of 2020, at the time, I lost one of the best job opportunities I had of my life to date because they pulled it the day before I was supposed to start because of the pandemic. And then I was unemployed for about 3 months. I applied to over 600 jobs. I was in grad school. I still maintained a 4.0 for the semester. I was going to bed like 2 or 3 a.m. every night. I was having night terrors. It was a mess. And that kicked off 2020. And at the end of 2020, my mom had a stroke. And so if you can imagine what all of that has been like, it's been a lot. And that's kind of where the recalibrate comes into play. So here, I also added in take more breaks, which is after reading like the 12-week year, you know, the whole, you can read it. I'm not going to read it to you. But it was a matter of taking breaks and really trying to be intentional and set those breaks in there. And that's something I'm also going to do. You could take more breaks in the schedule, focus on self-care, set boundaries, work on like an imposter syndrome kind of thing, do more self-care, get to the gym more, relax, and put my needs as a priority. So this kind of takes the whole intention for the year up front. So that's just super high level. And then, so this is the brain dump of what those goals are. And again, this is from Cloth and Paper. And I just wrote a bunch down. I only blocked out career because I feel like I'm happy to share mental and physical goals with you, but the career is a little more personal. So that's okay. So what I figured I would do is show you how I have this set up, and like that's just high level. And then I'll show you within each section. I have wellness, personal, career, home, and the year in general, and I'll show you how I use them all. But from Cloth and Paper, she had a 5-year plan that I bought, and it really did break it out into these sections. So we'll start with wellness. And what I wanted to do is take that high level overview and break it down into more of like more detail for just wellness for that year. And so maybe I'll do that with all of you, and we'll see, either I chit chat through it or just fast forward through it. But then this is the 5-year plan. And so this is a health and lifestyle 5-year plan that I have set. And I love this layout because then you can create a vision board, which I haven't done yet, track milestones, and then that's just overall for wellness. So I'll look forward to doing this. I wanted to do this today, and I figured I would just film it, but like health and lifestyle, just be confident, motivated, classy, like reset, recalibrate my wardrobe, just totally change it out, go for a bit more minimalistic, more capsule pieces, set some boundaries, set more boundaries, and don't have guilt about it. I don't know, I struggle with guilt, and I'm working through that. That's part of the goals. And then milestones there that you intend to track for over the course of the 5 years. So that's part of the 5-year plan. And then positive affirmations, haven't done that yet. But this is from Cloth and Paper. To create something exceptional, your mind must be focused on the smallest detail. Just repeated, and that's true. So that's for personal. This Elegance is Quiet is from Planner Press. She still has these up, but to me, elegance being quiet is kind of defines what the personal goals are. Not quick to react. You think through what you say. You're elegant in how you speak and how you think and how you carry yourself, how you dress. So that's also motivating. And so for personal, this is also from Cloth and Paper, subscription box. It says do everything for your future self. This is from Planner Press. I post about this quote a lot. Just a lot has occurred in life that is the path that we take. So this is, again, another kind of dash for this section that I hope to fill out. Personal goals, just to stay motivated. And then, of course, we have another personal 5-year plan. And what does that personal 5-year plan look like? And filling out the rest of those details are a lot. Another vision board, more milestones that I can go in and track those milestones. And then also part of personal, you've heard me talk about capsule wardrobe. This is from EO Edits. This is lifestyle designer pages I downloaded in 2020 and didn't use because it was 2020. But I really like her inserts. It's a good reminder, and then it's really kind of walks you through prompts for what you want your life to be or what you want your style to be. And that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do. This is all about a capsule wardrobe that have some time to work on that. And you don't do it overnight. You kind of budget for that because clothes can be expensive. And then career, work in progress, because we're all a work in progress. So career, this is where I said it gets a little like personal. I don't share too much about what I do. I'll share where I've been. But this is a perfect quote. This is from Cloth and Paper. I saw that my life was a fast-growing empty page and I could do anything I wanted. And this rings true to me because I was an educator. I was a teacher for a very long time, and I made a career change at one of the hardest times, one of the hardest points of my life. Just up and made the career change. It was like, well, okay, everything's kind of a shit show. Might as well just like go for it. Well, it's a bit of a mess. But I blocked out kind of what the 5-year plan is for career and personal there. This is from Peach Palm and this is from Salty 22, and they both came when I placed orders. It's raised, so really love Salty 22 dividers. Peach Palm has amazing stickers. So haven't worked in the objectives or the vision board yet, but plan to. And then again, milestones and reading log, because what I want to read this year is largely focused on like career focus, kind of like that 12-week year was one of them. And then out of the reading log, we have a home section. I've talked about it before. We're starting to get into designing a home. We bought a plot of land last year. It was a huge milestone. And so now we get to design the home. And that'll take time because it won't be super soon because lumber is so crazy expensive, just to be honest. And then the year, what I do here, and it's kind of morphed over time. I love this. Tough times never last, but tough people too. Heck yeah. Tough people kind of make the world go round, don't they? So then this is like, I was going to map out high level quarterly what I wanted to do based on everything else I fill out. So once I fill that out, I'll work on the goals, and we'll see what that looks like. And I'll work on that kind of independently, and we'll see, afterwards what that comes to be. And so that's quarterly aspirations. And then in this section, again, it's morphed a bit. Daily declutter, digital declutter, that's something that I try to do. That is a goal, is like tech cleanup, because I haven't in a long time. And then this section, these are from Cloth and Paper. I don't know if she still sells them. It has like weekly, monthly, quarterly like goals. So these I had left over from when I used them the other year. They're all archived for the other years. But so the way I'm using this is I'm going to set accomplishments for what I did every month. So like started posting YouTube videos. I have, I got a halo laser done, which is also a video. I'm boundary setting, and then like 3 main words to focus on, and what I did. And then this was going to be for tasks, and then I realized, I talked about this already, and it's already morphed. So instead of the tasks there and tracking it at that level, this is my habit tracker, and I love her. She's amazing. She's totally a workhorse. I'm in this thing every day. But just to skip some of this and show you what I'm talking about is that in this habit tracker, again, I'm in my goals planner every couple of weeks, and I get to focus on the goals that I have. So like 2 sets of goals, and these I get to, this is from Hey Planner Girl, and you can edit whatever these are. So I basically have found a routine where I can keep everything the same, but the goals I can change every month. And so what I'll do is I'll come in here and just focus on what the goals are. And again, it can be by section, or it's coming in and looking at this overall and saying, okay, what were my goals this past month? What can I focus on next month, as a way of making sure that they get done. And these were carryover from last year. But so I basically, plan everything out in here because it helps keep me motivated. But also, I really like archiving everything and seeing how far I've come, or what happened was like at the end of last year, I was like, I feel like I didn't do much. It was just such a whirlwind. But I got to look back and make a 2021 year in review, like everything that happened. And it was amazing to see what I accomplished. So I know it works. But I don't know, is it extra? Maybe. But this works for me. I really love the setup. I like the fact that it takes me, it gives me time to sit and really think about what I'm doing and think about how I'm using it and what do I want my goals to be. I don't have to be where I am right now in 5 years. I can be in a totally different place. And this really helps. And I also know, you just take everything one day at a time. And, I used to plan everything out, and then I stopped entirely, and now I'm kind of back to let's just see, let's see what happens. Let's make it happen. So what I'm gonna do, I'll start to fill this out, and maybe we'll fast forward through that section, and then I'll kind of flip through it again in the end, and we'll go from there. So I'll pick back up in a second. That all of that is completed, I'll give you just a quick rundown. I know the video is long already, but so what I did, I just went in and I did fill in kind of like the mini dashboards for each section. So this is wellness. So I went in and highlighted some things I want to focus on for wellness, which is great. And then I did the same thing for personal, and then this will all tie in a minute too. So there's my personal, and that's just, you know, relationships, fitness, sleep, the Opportunity Rose LLC, skincare, etc. And then career, again, I didn't write too much, like that was like super specific, but you know, prepping for graduate school. I already completed a year of a graduate program, but more to come. Maintaining my PMP. My husband and I are working on a joint service that'll be launched this year, which I'm really excited about. That 12-week yearbook, just take more breaks because I didn't take a break. I hadn't had a vacation in 6 years, didn't take a break for 18 months. Don't want to repeat that this year. Home section, I just went in and I started to draft like office and bedroom because we were playing around with design for that. And then the year, what I did, and you may have seen, is I took each little section out, or the whole year, and I broke it down into a quarter. So I'll only do this quarterly. Otherwise, I mean, there's a balance between planning your entire life, not planning, and then only planning for the next week. So I'm doing it by quarter. So I took each of these sections, so each of the wellness, personal, career, home, etc. And I did a plan for this quarter, so January to March, and that marks the 12-week for the 12-week year, because I want to take some breaks. I did not take breaks last year, so we're going to take a long weekend. Wednesday nights we try to have date nights. That started only in like October of last year. I mean, granted, quarantine, we couldn't really go out and do much, but now we just mask up and go do something to break up the monotony of the week. And so I wrote down a little of each, of like the large goal, what can I do each month and each quarter to get to that goal. And then I summarized it. So what I'm doing now that I didn't do last year specifically is I took, like, what is the high level goal that I want for this quarter, and I track these separately. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I get into this once a year to kind of plan it all out, and then once a quarter, and then anytime I need to go back in and check in, it's done. And it's like, I know I have a plan, I can feel good about it. So what I do in my habit tracker that I showed, and I use this sucker every single day, but every month I do track habits. This helped a lot when it was like, that March when I lost my job and it was kind of hard to do anything. So I track everything there. But then what I do at a high level is, and you'll see it, so I'm like super excited about it. This is what it was, because it was to line up with last year's goals for January, because I didn't have the time to sit, or I didn't make the time to sit down and plan out 2022. But now I take, the goals that I have set up, like the high level over here. So maintain the sleep schedule. Granted, I track sleep separately, but am I sticking to my schedule? Am I practicing boundaries? Did I move regularly? These hearts here mean I'm tracking it in a different section of the habit tracker. But if you'll notice, if you can see what I wrote over here, I did write that, the goals. So now I know these were very intentional and planned out with what I have set for the quarter, and the quarter is what I have set from the year. So that's just how I do it. And then every day, along with my other habits, I can go in and check it off, knowing I'm literally going after the goals that I have set for myself. So that's how I kind of maintain it daily, because I don't go into this thing daily. What I will do though is go in at the end of the month and highlight what did occur. So as I remember, either monthly or weekly, I'll go in and write it down. This plan insert, I decided, that's just how it goes sometimes. I decided not to use this because it made more sense to go in and track it at a high level here. So if you've never used these inserts before, or you have like these Gantt charts, that's a great way to do it if you don't have two planners to do things, if you only have one, or if you're not sure what to do. I'm tracking it here instead. So we'll see what this section ends up being in the future. That's the beauty of planning, is you can kind of figure it out as you go. And that, folks, is all. That is how I plan goals, how I make sure I'm attacking them and going after the goals, and really feel like I'm kind of setting myself up for success. And even if it doesn't get to that point, you know, where everything hits 100%. I mean, life happens. And if anything, the last couple of years have taught us is that life happens. But at least it's a work in progress, and we'll get there. So thank you all for tuning in. If you stuck around for the whole video, give a thumbs up and leave your favorite emoji or a comment in the comments, and set that bell for alerts. And hopefully I will see you again soon. Thanks all.